Hey ladies, this is Mokomami here bringing you another video. And in this video, I would just like to talk about Chrissy's latest upload. I know typically I don't make, response videos to larger content creators and their videos. I like to come up with kind of original content, but I definitely feel as if that she brought up a lot of really great issues that I think a lot of Black women in this space have been coming to terms with. So I was in the process of making a video called Dropping the Handkerchief when this video was released. And dropping the handkerchief is a term coined by Matthew Hussey, where a woman can give verbal and nonverbal cues to a guy to let him know that she's open for conversation, open to being pursued. Just maybe like little subtle initial flirting techniques that women can deploy. And it made me realize how maybe we might need to develop this skill as Black women. And I also wanted to use this time to really use Chrissy's talking points that she addressed to really direct you ladies to other content creators who have really been in this sector, really been consistent and been giving that advice for a lot of young women. So through this video, I'll go through certain points that Chrissy made, certain points in my own development, and give you ladies direction to some of the content creators who can really help you on your journey to just living your best life. I really appreciated Chrissy sharing her story about how she had come to her conclusion with realizing that perhaps at this point in her life, dating non-Black men is just going to be a much better fit. I can say that for myself, like Chrissy, it wasn't really a necessarily traumatic experience that I experienced firsthand, or maybe secondhand for that matter. I just do know that it's just an area where I never really had a lot of social currency in the Black African American community, despite being raised by two Black African American parents who has a family legacy of being very pro-Black and even participating in the civil rights movement. I just never had currency among African American men my age. So a lot of it had to do with my faith background, even though I think a lot of us Black children grew up going to church. Those of us who actually adhered to those values had a really difficult time socially, not just because we weren't allowed to do things, but because we had certain religious convictions that we just didn't participate in certain things because of how we needed to uphold our faith and our own spiritual well-being. I also think at the time where my parents did put a lot of effort into putting me in things like Upward Bound and things, participating in the cotillions and the beauty pageants and the things that really enforce that Black boule culture around other well-to-do Black people, I still didn't have tons of currency. You got to remember that like late 80s, early 90s, everybody wanted to keep it real and be an around the way girl. And because they felt as if those women would give them easier access to sex. And they wouldn't have to kind of go through the formalities that it would took to get, the cotillion girls or the beauty pageant girls or the girls from the right families. So again, you're finding yourself not having a lot of social currency, but yet it would translate to social currency in other communities amongst other groups of people. Going to a mostly faith-based school, I didn't have problems getting asked to dances and didn't have problems socializing with other people, people from the diaspora who understood the importance of having well-connected parents and people, and also new immigrant groups coming into New York where girls of a faith-based religion could have a little bit more access to whole families, and then they would set their sons up. So again, I just found myself having way more currency outside of the Black community. When I got to college as well, I found the same thing, even though I was at an HBCU, the HBCU. I went to Howard, and the ratio was heavily favored towards the male students. There were 9 women to every 1 man on that campus. But if you are an ROTC cadet and you mingled and interacted with other ROTCs in the area, you saw that, especially in those retired General Colin Powell days where he was really trying to promote the Black officer and really trying to mentor a lot of Black officers and Black ROTCs. He really did encourage us to not just do drill competitions or color guard competitions with other Black schools. He encouraged us to maybe expand a little bit and, going to Virginia Military Academy, VMI. Let me tell you something, that really definitely changed my perspective. It changed my life, really, how that ratio that didn't really favor me on Howard's campus. You would go to Virginia Military Academy and it would be 11 men to every one woman. And also a lot of the women on that campus. Shout out to my sisters in arms, love them, grateful for everything that they've done to mentor and help create the woman that I was. A lot of those women were not heterosexual. So, I mean, if you could wear the Class A with the skirts and pull it off, and a lot of us Black girls could, I found myself not having to carry anything for any of those color guard or drill competitions. Let me tell you something, they carried everything for you. And again, realizing why I had currency. So a lot of us are coming to this life not with traumatic experiences, not being angry or bitter, but just understanding that we had currency in other places. And ladies, that's where I really want to encourage you, is to have currency in other places. There are so many women who have currency in spiritual arenas, in artistic arenas, in business arenas that really allow them to mix and mingle with all kinds of people that weren't necessarily from the African American community, and just find themselves having a lot of access and just a lot of skill and social graces in other areas. Two of those content creators I would definitely say would be Black women making money. She knows a lot of the business jargon. She knows a lot of the ways that you could level up and create other streams of income. And because of that, she interacts with lots of different types of people and has lots of different types of mentors, and then mentors all types of different people. And another Sun, Venus, Moon, again, very business savvy, but also really great with survival skills, also really into the outdoors, has a really great spiritual and femininity background from a spiritual perspective. So those are two content creators who I really think that you ladies should follow, because I just really feel as if knowing your currency is going to be incredibly powerful in the next level to your level up. Now, if you have been struggling with some trauma or some difficult circumstances throughout your level up divestment journey, two of the content creators I recommend, one would be My World. My World is a Gen X content creator out of the South who just talks about her family journey, her own divestment journey, recommends books, movies, and just has a lot of important discussion topics that can really help you on your way to help articulate some of the things, the more complicated feelings you might be having. Also, Our True Nature. This is from a woman in the diaspora who talks about just a lot of, she gives a real academic approach to divestment and really explains a lot of the why. And she also gives a lot of suggestions as to books you can read and ways you can seek help. Her YouTube channel and corresponding blog posts really do add a lot to the conversation. And I truly suggest that you subscribe to her channel. And of course, for straight up strategy, the two content creators I would recommend would be the Afrocentric woman. This is a woman who has a lot of experience with navigating online dating sites and how you can ask the right questions, certain vetting techniques, and really different ways that you can optimize online dating to make sure that you're getting the best social experience you can out of it. And of course, Dee Dee of Pink Chill Divest. The reason why I like her content is because she can really help give you the language to navigate sticky issues. She can really help give you some of the social tools and etiquette that you might need to be able to navigate certain difficult situations that you may encounter with interacting with other communities, and also how you can tactfully, successfully, and with class navigate your way out of quote unquote Blackistan. So I really think that both of those women offer some really good strategic hands-on advice about things you can do today. Chrissy really did do so well about outlining her own personal journey, her own personal struggles and setbacks, and things that she is suggesting for you to move forward. And the biggest thing that I can say with moving forward, it had to do with Pink Chill Divest community tab page. We really have to just start getting out there. We really just have to start putting ourselves out there in a way that is, of course, safe, but also in a way that we can take some calculated risks to get to meet new people and to expand our circles. We are not going to be bound by the mistakes of the past, and we're also not going to fear our futures. We're going to face it with courage, and we're going to face it expecting success. This is Mocha Mommy, and I'll see you in the next video.